Hello and welcome to 11th Legion, a Warhammer podcast. I'm Bradders. I'm joined with my co-hosts Dan and Johnny.
Bonjour.
So we'll kick things off with what we've been doing. Johnny, you're up first.
Right, so we've been talking about having an Age of Sigmar campaign going down the line.
Yeah, although it looks like that's going down the bloody toilet.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still be nice to have an Age of Sigmar army, so I've started work on the Nighthawks that I've got.
Nice.
Started putting them together. I've made a little bit of progress. Got one horde of chain rasps put together. They're nice models to do. I mean, they're push fit, and
Do you still have to glue push fit?
you don't have to, I don't think, but I have been doing because I just want them to be solid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I probably would.
Because
you don't want to paint them and then pull them apart.
Yeah.
Do you?
I mean,
Accidentally. or
end up
otherwise.
knocking. I'm clumsy as anything, so if I drop something, there's a good chance that it's going to fall to bits. I mean, my Tau fell to bits a lot and dropped like, by the ankles, so I don't want that happening to my
Yeah.
Nighthawks as
Still
well.
too soon to talk
Yeah.
about dropping
Oh
towel.
yeah. Sorry. So yeah, I've been gluing them, and it makes it so that they kind of seal together a bit better. So there's no risk of them shifting, especially after they get painted. The
Yeah.
last thing you want to see is like seams or cracks appearing in your paint.
Don't want to see them cracks.
No, well,
No, I know you
Not
bought
all
the
cracks.
book the other weekend. Have you looked at the book yet?
not yet.
I find you so frustrating.
It's like literally the first thing I do.
Yeah,
Like,
you got to open
anybody that starts making an army without reading the book is a psychopath.
I am.
How do you know? How do you know what's going to
I
be any
don't know.
good?
Well, I've already got a bunch of models, so I mean they're what are going to be used. When it comes to like putting an army together, I'll sort of cross that bridge down the line. And
Yeah. To be
it
fair,
probably explains why I don't do well at games.
to be fair, your chain rasp boards are like your basic battle.
That's
lines,
the- yeah,
and
basically,
those
so
aren't
they're
they?
gonna be
you're going to
using-
be needing those
yeah.
one way or another.
I mean, I'm using the Soul Wars box as well, so I think I've got a few different bits in there that will make a.
Is that the one that came with the Stormcasts?
Yes, it is.
What have
Yeah,
you done with the Stormcasts?
still got them. Not doing anything with them yet.
What Stormcast does it come with?
I honestly cannot remember.
It comes with a Lord Arcanum on the Griff Charger, some Sequitors, I can't remember how many,
Yeah.
one of them Ballistas, a Lord Ordinator, and
Ooh.
a couple of the
Crossbow geezers.
Crossbow
Yeah.
So literally
Yeah.
nothing nowadays a Stormcast player would want.
I don't know enough about Stormcast, but back in the day I think it was all the rage.
Well, not the way I want to play them. I've been trying to get some Stormcasts off a Facebook Marketplace, but it's proven remarkably difficult.
Yeah.
There are people advertising that they wanted to get rid of their Stormcasts on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
So I then send them a message saying, oh yeah, I'm really interested in buying them. No replies.
Oh.
Just no replies. Like, if you've sold them, take them off. What the hell are we doing? Is there some, like, big prank out there to just, like,
It's all
waste
of us.
my
We've all
time?
got together.
Just me and Johnny.
Some like it's you two. Some like Reddit board somewhere of how let's piss Dan off by pretending we've got Stormcast for sale.
I kind of wish we were that popular for that to be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably more than 3 people to get something like that off the ground. Very frustrating because I just want to get the things that I want to
Yeah.
and move on. I don't want to buy them new because I don't want to glue it and I don't want to. I mean, I'll have to paint them, but I despise the idea I have to paint them. I would like that people who sell like a whole army fully painted, I would happily pay the money for a whole army fully painted. It's just the people who fully paint armies and sell them are absolute dog shit at building army lists. The army that they sell just sucks. I'm like, it's no wonder you're selling that army. You must get curb stomped all the time. The only reason you'd buy that army is if you're like a masochist. Is that the one where you get whipped?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't
yeah,
you?
maybe.
Anyway, sorry, Johnny.
No.
I've just been ranting.
So yeah, it's
So you know you're going to have chain rasps.
Yep.
You know you're going to have Lady Olinda.
yeah, because I've
Have
already
you got
got
Lady
that.
Olinda?
Yeah, I have got it. Yeah,
And they can have the black coach.
Yeah.
yeah,
So you're going to have a black coach.
yeah. I love that model. I think it's really cool.
Do you know how many points it is? Of course, you know, up to the
I've
book.
not opened the book.
Black coach used to be sick back in Warhammer Fantasy
Yeah,
because it gave buffs to everything around it.
Yeah.
And as the game got on, it could like soak in magic and got more and more powerful.
did it?
Until it was an absolute juggernaut.
Unit.
Yeah. It was the model itself, the physical model, sucked. But the rules were
This one looks really cool.
It does.
I mean, the model now looks incredible, but the idea of painting it and gluing it makes me want to poo.
I tell you what, I like the look of them. I think they're called Dreadscythe Harridans. They're
They're kind of like Banshee looking,
but they've got scythes for hands. I mean,
Like Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, I think they look cool. And I've got some Mermore Banshees as well, so they look pretty cool.
They are.
I don't know how well they play.
So how much have you got built now?
Just the one group of chain rasps so far, but...
You said that on Saturday. It's Thursday.
I got halfway through them on Saturday.
How much is a unit? 20?
20.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You said 10 on Saturday, so that's fair.
Yeah.
This is like the most rapid Warhammer gluing you've done in your entire life. I'm excited.
It's just all like, oh, okay.
Done.
That's insane. You're actually going to have an army ready.
Looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah. It's,
I'm glad somebody will.
Oh, yeah.
I have an army, I've just not got a new army
Do you want
ready.
to do an Age of Sigmar campaign? I'm not sure if my army will be glued.
I mean, it won't.
One
I've not
day.
even bought any of it yet.
One day.
Have you decided what you mean yet?
Not entirely. I'm like 90% settled on Soul Blight Graveyards.
Oh, okay.
What's the 10%?
Just the like natural 10% I have for wanting to do everything.
So what are you waiting for?
I don't know.
I don't know. You've done painting that big Chaos Imperial Knight now, so...
Well, I've still got I'm redoing the others to match the scheme, so that they're all one unified army.
Oh, wow.
But I've been cracking on with progress for them, actually, so that...
It's a special kind of pervert who paints something they've already painted.
Yeah, it is.
So wait, these are your knights that you've already...
Yeah, you see them there.
The Imperial.
Those ones I'd done with superglue, so I froze them.
Oh, yeah.
Snapped the pieces off that I need. I've got some bio strip that I'm going to strip them with.
Bio strip?
Is that the stuff that you put in a tub and just...
That come out of a lab in China? China?
Entirely possible.
What's bio strip?
It's just like a chemical that you use for stripping paint, but it's like odourless and...
What's the bio element?
I don't know.
Makes it sound like it's alive or it's going to eat biological matter.
It might.
It's got me concerned.
You're going to grow a paint monster that's going to eat you.
Can't you just spray over
them? Yeah, but I had... Because it was back when I first started up and the paint's quite thick on them. So
you didn't do two thin coats like Duncan said.
I did not.
He did one fucking thick coat like
did.
your boy here.
Just dunk them.
So if I put
dunked them in paint.
another few coats on them, they're going to be a bit manky.
So this bio strip, is it like a spray or a
No,
powder
it's just like
or
a tub of liquid that you just like...
Do you paint it on?
Slop on them.
Slop on with a paintbrush or a tooth?
You can like dunk them and
dunk
them somewhere. Yeah, because it's a big part. You can dunk
how much
them
is that?
There were different sizes. I think the one I got was maybe 20 quid, and it's like a big...
If you dunk a model in, how many dunkings can the bio strip take before it's dunked out?
You won't leave it in because then the paint will like...
Yeah. Sorry, brothers.
No, you won't leave it in because then like the paint will obviously go into all the stuff and it'll get rank. The liquid.
But where does it go?
Well, I'm saying you dunk it and then take it out and leave it to...
So does it loosen the paint and then you brush the paint off?
and then you just brush it off.
Right.
How long do you leave it to stand?
I've not tried it yet. I was thinking people say like if you just like leave it over, like do it before you go to bed and leave it overnight or something, or leave it for the day and then
it stays jelly on it, and then you just come and scrub it with a toothbrush.
Pretty much, yeah. Wash it all off and then should have the paint off.
But you've not tried it yet.
I've not tried it yet. No.
So
this will be an interesting.
So we'll see.
This will be an
time.
interesting.
That's my job
experiment
next week.
I mean, for anyone who's crazy, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, what are the chances of it?
Can you imagine if it ruins your model?
Yeah, exactly.
And you're trying it on a Chaos Knight. Like, why don't you try it on one of your Eldar that you despise?
It shouldn't do, because I've seen a lot of people use it like online, and it's come out okay.
The internet lie.
Some like well-known people on the internet.
Well-known people?
Yeah.
More well-known than us?
Yeah. Apparently there exist people who are more popular than we are. Because I have used Dettol before, and that works, but it fucking stinks. And
I love the smell of Dettol.
Yeah, so do I.
I thought it was alright.
I know you won't know, but when you've had a hard day's work outside and you come home and put Dettol in your bath.
Oh, that is
absolute treat. Absolute treat.
No, having a big bowl of Dettol in the house was a bit too much for the missus.
What are you doing to her? It's got to do with her.
You've got a big enough ass.
Why do you have it just lying around in a big bowl like an ornament?
Because I just put the stuff in it.
You just dump
it
it
was while it was soaking to get the paint off.
Right.
So it had to go out in the garage.
You used to be able to use Fairy Active spray.
Okay.
So you put it on the model. That's what we used to do when I was at Warhammer. Would spray it on the model and then just put the model in like a sandwich bag, crush the air out of it and seal it up, leave it, and then come back with a toothbrush and just brush it all off. And that worked a treat.
Fairy Active spray. Is that like the cleaning stuff?
Yeah, just the cleaning stuff. It was cheap as chips. That's what we used to use to take paint off of stuff. I enjoy taking paint off of stuff, not painting things.
Just not put it on, yeah.
And that worked a treat, even on khaki metal models and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever tried it on the travesty that was Finecast, but all the Finecast stuff just stop burning in hell anyway, doesn't
You have to be careful with like the resin stuff. Like if you use Dettol on the resin, I think it fucks it.
Poisons you.
You also have to be careful with Dettol as well, because if you, like when you're brushing it off, if you apply water to it, it makes the stuff go all like...
Does it melt
gunky and sticks to your model, and then you just got to start all over again.
Oh, right.
Which is obviously not what you want.
I guess
have you tried this yourself, or is this from well-known personalities on the internet?
I've tried the Dettol. I didn't gunk it. I took that advice beforehand, but that's what, because there were kind of like a lot of threads with people asking like how to strip models, and that was one of the common things if you're using Dettol.
Are you sure this was about Warhammer?
Under the tap. Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
So.
And there's some clever people on the internet.
I know. Can learn it, can't you?
I guess bring all of that wisdom into one place here. It's insane.
I guess one benefit with it being Chaos Knights is if it works and it goes well, you've only got a few models to do. Whereas if you were like trying to strip an army of, I don't know, orcs or something.
No, God, you'd be there forever, wouldn't you? You might as well just buy new ones.
Yeah.
I see on your little painting desk there, you've got what looks like Wraith Lord disco dancing.
Yeah.
But we all know that you despise your Eldar because they suck. So what's going on?
I mean,
are you trolling us, or are you slowly taking them apart for failing you?
No, that's been there in that exact pose, partially built for about 3 months.
Oh my God, I've only just noticed.
As well as the Dark Reapers that I've got knocking about on the back there as well. They've been...
You're just leaving them there as like a form of self-punishment, or what?
I think I just like put them there because I was in the process of doing them. And
or do you like to look at them in spite and be like, you weren't good enough, you'll never get finished, watch as I bio-guck on this Titan.
I love these Titans so much I'm doing them twice.
I've not painted you once, you shits.
I did get part way through the Dark Reapers. The Wraith Lord just never made it though.
Maybe that's why you keep losing, because you glued all the stuff that's shit.
Ah, I like Dark Reapers.
Yeah, Dark Reapers are good, but then you've got bloody Striking Scorpions and Howling Banshees, which suck.
They should be good.
Why should they? In the law, they should be good. In the rules, they should not be good. I think they're all not good.
Yeah.
They are a melee unit, which is not good enough against other stuff. Never mind other stuff, specialist melee stuff.
No.
They're not amazing against Marines. Never mind Assault Terminators.
I think, especially in a post-armor content world, they really took a beating. It's like Striking Scorpions, kind of like 4 or 5 attacks each, exploding sixes, sixes to wound, doing mortals, -1 AP, which should chew through a lot of stuff, being kind of like an armor contempt world. It's doing no.
Yeah.
And the Banshee's main thing is they can advance and charge and turn off Overwatch when they charge.
But turning off Overwatch,
I mean, how many
isn't
people...
that big a problem unless you're charging someone with flamers, is it?
Yeah.
And the problem that both of them have is unless they can do enough damage, they can't take a beating at all.
No.
They're made of paper, and it's unlikely you're going to do enough damage to...
No. And if you've got a flamer against any Eldar unit that's charging you, it just disintegrates like paper. It's horrific.
I mean, I guess, are they supposed to be like you drop them in a transport, land them behind enemy line somewhere, they try and kill something,
in the law, they're just meant to be amazing.
Yeah.
In the law, they're meant to be on they are the elite level.
And they have a supreme level of skill through hundreds of years of training that far surpasses what a mortal is capable of. That is not reflected in the rules, though.
No.
shame because it's
Man, they've only got 1 wound each. Toughness 3. It just.
I'll see what you mean. Yeah, so flames would.
Fuck all.
I think it's like 4 up, 5 up in one. They just.
Balls.
Yeah, they just disintegrate if you get.
They've got a high
anything into
movement, so they just run really quickly to get their heads kicked in.
Mm.
Which I told you before you bought them and glued them, but you would not listen to me.
Yeah, but I liked them.
Not for long. You like them for one day.
I really enjoyed painting them.
They're nice. They're beautiful models.
Yeah.
Beautiful models.
Really enjoyed.
I mean, the whole
painting
Eldar
them.
army, I can't think of one duff model in it.
No,
Everything's nice.
Yeah, they're all.
The old Avatar was a bit shit, but the new one
one looks amazing.
Yes,
yeah.
Really
I
nice.
like him.
And the Forge World one was great.
Mm.
Really nice army. If you're not doing them, I might dust mine off again then.
Fair.
Problem is, though, I think my games may be a bit dull. Because I think the way to win with Eldar is pretty template, like cookie cutter. So for me, I'd end up doing the same thing every time.
Yeah.
So what's that?
Well, I know some people like to use jet bikes, which I totally get. But for me, it would be 5 prisms behind Wraith.
Yeah, so you've got your
So Wraith's
brick
really
wall.
tough, multiple wounds, invuns to go stand on objectives and can go toe-to-toe against any unit.
Yeah.
And then the 5 prisms will just be nailing stuff and turning off invuns left, right and centre.
Yeah.
And also with their speed, fanning out onto objectives, with Sarka backup to just rape mortal wounds on stuff.
Yeah.
And just rinse and repeat. It doesn't matter who you're against. That would be the plan. If you're up against Tau, which really shoot well, the 5 prisms can shoot, I would say, better than hammerheads can. And if you're against, so you can kind of shoot them and then you use your Wraith more aggressively.
Yeah.
To get up in the Tau, grill and smash them.
Walk all over them.
And then against someone that's really combaty, like Custodes or Blood Angels, hang the Wraith back and batter them with the 5 prisms for a couple of turns, and then move the Wraith up to sit on objectives and kick them off. And nasty characters just mortal wound them with Psychers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless the Tyranids, which I think are better at Psychic than Eldar are, which frustrates me.
Yeah.
Eldar are meant to be the top kiddies, but I think at the minute, psychically, they get outdone by Tyranids, Thousand Suns and Grey Knights.
Yes.
Because like
100%.
every unit in the Grey Knight army is a Psyker. And Eldar's meant to be the psychic race. And I'm okay with the Eldar not having every unit as a psych like the Grey Knights.
But
the
the
ones
psychers
that are
they do have, they
psychers
should be able to just
incredible.
nuke stuff.
Yeah. And that's not the case.
No.
Yeah, the Tyranid psychic ability is offensively good.
Yeah. Definitely.
Maybe when we're halfway through this campaign, I might
Start a Tyranid
Switch to
on.
Tyranid.
switch armies just to piss everyone off because they're all upset after last time. I'm like, ah! I'll just drop my Custodes or something. I can swap over.
Yeah.
My Custodes are pretty resilient to being dropped. And mine are held together by Loctite, which in essence melts it all into one thing. Good shit. If you for gluing models, obviously be careful if you're young or clumsy, but Loctite is incredible. It binds in literally seconds. So I used to have some in my carry case, like when we gamed the other night, someone's spear arm came off, so a couple of drops of Loctite, 1, 2, 3, off we trot. No bother. Yeah.
I can't think what I'm
Easy.
using. Oh, I think I've got. Is it called Revel?
I
I think it's like it is like a model plastic glue.
I did use plastic glue's all right, but the problem is once a model breaks, plastic glue doesn't glue to dry plastic glue very well, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So when like an arm snaps off, you've got the dried
File it,
plastic
yeah.
glue on it, and you can file it and stuff, but I'll be fucked with that. And if you're at the tabletop, you're not going to bang out your file set. Whereas Loctite will glue out to out.
Yeah.
I did used to use Gorilla Glue, Super Glue, but Loctite is superior.
I used to use a bit of, like the Gorilla glue, the one that's in like a little. It's got like a nozzle on it, and it's like a.
Yeah, it's got a little brush inside as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is with the
got
Gorilla Glue is
stuck.
the brush gets glued into
Yes.
itself.
Oh god, I
The
wasted so much.
Loctite's a lot more liquidy rather than jelly like Gorilla Glue, and it comes out of a very fine nozzle, so you can literally get it by the drop,
Yeah,
like
good.
a pipette, rather than an ejaculation of super glue onto the model. So it's great for doing models with.
Yeah.
Having just swapped to Loctite recently,
I might have to have a look.
best thing at the minute, in my opinion. I'm not good at gluing stuff, so when I glue it, I want to make sure it never fucking breaks.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, well, we've diverged off wildly from what Johnny's been up to, but it's given us some entertainment, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about what you've been up to? Because it's kind of tied into what I've been up to.
It is. So we had a game the other night, didn't we?
Did we?
We did.
Did you not
2,000
even
points.
register?
2,000 points to Chaos Knights against Custodies on Death and Zeal with the old Knackman rules, wasn't it? It was a good game. You smashed me in points.
Why did you add in points? That's the only metric of smash me in points, but we won the moral victory. We can hold our heads high.
We're all winners. We all had fun.
So what was the score in the end? What did it come out?
Ooh. You got 69. I remember that much.
I could have earned more points, but I thought that's a good place to stop.
And what did I get? It was low.
About 3, I think.
It wasn't that low.
I think genuinely, I think it was 20 something.
35.
Yeah.
Not that low. I mean, that would have been abysmal. Yeah, 69 to 35. It was a tough game against Custodies. Those inland saves are just upsetting. Like everything's pretty much across the board. Got a 4-up inland, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Banquist didn't.
No.
He only
no,
had a 5-up invuln.
But he was protected by
Du Bois.
some Custo lads. Yeah, tough because you can fire so much into them and hit them with so much, but unless you're ignoring invuln saves, it's still a 50-50 whether anything goes through.
I failed a lot of my feel no pains in that game as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
they all got Fiona.
Yeah. Statistically, I failed a lot of them. Obviously, with statistics over enough games, it will balance out. So at some point, I'll have a game where I make more than the statistical average, but hardly past any, and you would say 1 in every 6 should get past, and it was far, far less than that. Would you care to elaborate? Are you trying to put it all behind you?
No. It was tough because I really tried that game, like, to be tactical and not, like, I knew your stuff was hard. You got the 2 Telemon Dreadnoughts. Like, I'm not just going to rush in and get punched to death and Trajan to come in and hack me to pieces.
Yeah, I used Trajan Valoris this time. I don't normally use him. He's the Captain General.
Captain General, right.
He is a badass.
Oh, okay.
He has strength 10, which there's not much in my army that can hit at that strength. And because it's knights, everything's got to have a high toughness.
Yeah.
So I needed something that could bang them.
So
and he scared you off a bit, didn't he, on one flank?
He did, yeah.
Stopped his whole army from coming down one flank just because he was stood there.
I just know how horrific he is. Like, his strength 10, he's got, 5 attacks?
I think it's more. Yeah.
Yeah, hitting on 2s.
It might be 6 attacks.
I say strength 10, high AP, high damage. And he's got his thing where he can fight twice, hasn't he?
That's only once per game.
Yeah, but still.
It's momentum shackle.
The only reason I survived his round of attacks the first time is because he went into a knight that I managed to get buffed up for the only being able to hit on a 4-up.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Otherwise, he would have got shredded up. So I really tried. I really tried to think about what I was doing, and
you were very good.
Commit.
If you played that well against other people, you would have more wins under your belt. You played very, very well. Your scores in the tournament so far are not reflective of how well you played against me.
But you just, I guess because I played conservatively, my big problem was not taking the objectives.
Yeah, I mean, with knights, that's
always the problem.
You know that's something you're going to struggle with.
And it was tough because you all came forward, didn't you? So I held back in the first turn, and then you kind of split down 2 flanks. And because of the way Death and Zeal is, it's kind of like an objective in each quarter and one in the middle.
Right.
But they're all relatively close together. So even if I was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to go get the one in the middle that you've moved off. I'm then like in between
Still in rate, yeah.
everything else to come
Yeah.
and smash me.
And a lot of the stuff in your Custodian's army it hits hard, doesn't it?
I tooled it out for taking
Yeah.
them, so instead of the normal Custodian Guard, I took the ones with Pyrithite spears, which are basically like melter spears.
Okay.
So they only have a range of 12 inches.
But they hit hard.
They're strength 8.
Oof.
I think it's -6 AP, D6 damage, D6 +2 if it's at half range.
Yeah.
And one of the katas adds another 4 inches onto that range. And a different one is if you don't move, you can fire double.
Oh.
So get myself in nice and close and then double shot with them.
Yeah.
Tasty.
And if you're near Trajan, it gives you rerolls on to hits and to wounds of 1. So they'd hit on 2s, and then if they missed, it'd give them a reroll. So the chance of rolling 2 1s is 1 in 36, which is very unlikely.
Doing D6 damage each at that sort of AP is rare that's not enough to destroy whatever you're aiming at.
I think I got a bit cocky after I shot one Telemann off the board in a round of shooting. I was like, right, okay. And then I charged the other Telemann, and you made like 5 out of 6 invuln saves with a reroll. I was like, shit. And then from then on, just got whittled down. Just couldn't
managed to kill my blade champion.
Yeah.
He did fuck all. I won't use him again against Knights.
No.
Is he the guy that in all your other games has been very, very successful, hasn't he?
It's just... It's not got anything that hits hard enough really to take out a Knight.
Okay.
No.
So it's not worth it.
I was in combat with the Telemann Dreadnought and the Blade Champion, and I thought, well, I'd taken quite a lot of wounds by this point, so I was like, I'm just going to try and smash the Blade Champion, because the Telemann Dreadnought's just been fucking me off so far. And yeah, just took him down.
I think you were fortunate to take him down in one round. I know you had 18 attacks, but you could only hit him on a 4-up because of his rule. So you'd say only 9 of those 18 should have hit. You're wounding him on
3s? I think.
2s or 3s, so you'd say 6 of them should wound. On a 4-up invuln save, I should save 3 of them. But then I can't remember what damage it was.
I think it might have been 3. 2 or 3 each.
And I think it might be 2 because you did so many attacks. So those 3 that came through, 6 wounds, I should have saved 1 on Feel No Pain, which means would have been 5 wounds, so he should have still been up after a turn, statistically, but it wasn't, and that's the way cookie crumbles. Then the Dreadnought died to something.
No, I fell back from the Dreadnought.
Oh, he fell back, but shot it because you were Titanic.
Oh, right.
And went into some of my guys who...
Again, held me up very well.
Yeah, not bad. I think, you were more scared of some of my shooting than my melee, broadly, weren't you?
Yeah.
Which was right, my shooting was more dangerous to you than my melee.
Yeah, the salvo launchers on those bikes. D3 plus 3?
Yeah, D3 plus 3, strength 8.
Oh, my days.
Yeah, tasty.
I was a bit annoyed. I did a lot of things wrong in that game, so my performance was poor. I was quite annoyed with myself afterwards.
What do you think you did wrong?
First thing was I didn't tag the objective in my quarter, which fucked me right off. Because in that scenario, if you have a unit that has OBSEC and they take an objective, it then remains your objective, even if you move off and away. And you start with start with one in your quarter.
Yeah.
And all I needed to do was start with one of my units on it at the beginning of the game. Then I could have moved straight off.
Yeah.
And he never would have got back to... He never would have come and taken it. He couldn't get down there.
No.
So that would have given me an extra 4 points every turn after first. So that would have been an extra 4 4s, 16 points at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I know I won this game, but 16 points can be a massive difference in a close game. So I was very annoyed at myself for that. And then I had a plan before I started on what I was going to do, and then didn't stick to that plan. And then after the game, realised I should have just stuck to the plan that I originally thought of.
Yeah.
My original plan was just to have a unit of troops and bikers on either flank, and then everything else in the middle, and just go straight forwards at you like a fucking battering ram to make you panic. And while I would have taken the 2 objectives on the side, I'd have had the one in my back quarter, so I'd have held 3 of the 5 for most of the game.
Yeah.
And then once I'd taken those objectives, I could then bring those in from the flanks to back up. But then going down the middle would have been Trajan, 2 Telemon Dreadnoughts, Blade Champion, Inquisitor, and just 3 guys. But I mean, the 2 Telemons and Trajan would have all together, because that also would have meant even if you'd have got in, because I'd have been nice and close up, the chances are you wouldn't have been able to get into melee against one of them.
Yeah.
You'd have had to have faced all 3 of them. And only one of your knights is strictly melee loadout. So you'd have had to have made that decision to send suboptimal knights for melee into melee, or just send one in, and even your melee one against 2 Telemons and Trajan would have get boned in a turn.
Definitely.
And that's what I should have done, because whatever you'd have moved against me, I'd have smashed,
found the mismatch.
and you wouldn't have been able to get out of my way in time. So that's what I should have done. It would have gone much easier on me, but and that's what I planned on doing. So I was very annoyed that I didn't stick to it, and there's not really a good reason that I didn't. I don't know why I did what I did. Because then that meant Trajan didn't get into like turn 4, which was a complete waste of 300 odd points. Otherwise, he'd have been in on turn 2.
Yeah.
But hey, I won, so that's okay. But not a great performance from me. My army list was good. Just not the Blade Champion against Imperial Knights, but everything else made its points. And that little Inquisitor, in 75 points, for every turn, I think 4 out of the 5 turns got Psychic Interrogation off. So netted me a load of victory points. And then at one point, he shot one of your little wolves with his Inferno pistol, didn't he? And finished it off.
He did, prick.
Got within like 6 inches. Inferno pistol, the sucker. Did all right.
Prick.
It was it's a good scenario. And it was a good game. You were a lot better. But next time, I need to remember how much I won by and try and beat you by more next time.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
And your goal, obviously, is to win or close the gap at least.
Yeah, it is. I think I'm going to change up some of my army choices. Not necessarily units, but definitely like my sub-faction.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of two different like styles of houses. It's like the one that I've currently got, which gives you like you can take like a couple of mortal wounds and you can activate a bonus, which is like +3 inches of movement. Essentially, have transhuman or get +1 to wound, which hasn't really been that useful to me. I've made the only one that I've really ever used has been like the +3 inches of movement, which has been very useful. But then I've never used it in subsequent rounds because
you're already where you need to be.
Getting battered.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the house that I picked has a very good relic that lets me ignore 1 damage, like a damage a turn. But I usually remember to use it for like 1 turn and then fucking forget about it.
Okay. Maybe you need to put that in big letters at the top of your
I keep forgetting that my Telemon Dreadnoughts reduce 1 damage from every attack that comes in, which is a massive bonus to forget about.
Yeah.
It's like when I was playing Borkan, I kept on forgetting about the strength.
Yeah.
6, was it strength 6? Yeah, strength 6 weapons against battlesuits.
Yeah.
Just kept on forgetting about that. That's why one of the main reasons you pick it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go towards the other side, which is essentially first round of combat. So if you charged, or do a heroic intervention, you get +1 attack and +1 AP. And then there's a house on that side that gives all your little guys +2 wounds and all your big guys +4 wounds.
Jesus.
And their relic is -1 to be hit, which
it's great.
That's quality, yeah.
And then I think my big combat knight, the upgrade that I've given him is kind of like -1 to wound, -1 to hit him in combat, which again hasn't really been that effective. So I might swap that out for the Khorne one that lets you just turn off invulnerable saves.
That is
Because
probably
it's been the invulnerable saves
that's been your downfall.
that have ruined him every game. If he's gone into something without invulnerable saves, he's not really been hit back.
No.
So God, that'd be terrifying. I'd put my Blade Champion back in then. Just so I can make whoever really, and just go on the Stasis Oubliette to make you go last, so I can try and deal with you in a turn, because that's a Custodes' worst nightmare, is turning off invul.
Yeah.
What army are you up against in round 5?
I think that's my bye week.
Uh,
And then I think it's the Nids.
I got Blood Angels next. I'm gonna fucking. Oh my days! This might be my biggest win. I'm gonna fucking ruin them, bro.
Yeah.
They do the same thing that I do. My army just does it better. So it strips away their advantage.
Yeah.
They're going to want to come into melee, which is sick, because that's right
what you
where I
want to
want
do.
to be too.
Yeah.
And they need to come close, which really suits me down to the ground. So that's my turn 5, which I've got to get in before, well, just over a week now, before a week tomorrow. I've got to get that game in, which is
Racking on.
not looking good.
What do you think is going to be against the Blood Angels? What would say is going to be your biggest threat to your Custodians?
Me
particular?
not trusting myself.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, me not trusting myself would be my
with your
biggest
plan.
threat. Normally, I'm really good. Like a lot of people, when they play games, they get emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that when we were there. Like the guys on the other table were falling out 1 minute and then shouting in victory the next.
Yeah.
I'm like, shouting in victory is cool, but like, get a grip. And were you all shouting because something cool happened, or are you just shouting like, I fucking rule, you suck, quit the game? That'll be the biggest challenge. I don't think there's much in the army I need to worry about. I need to make sure, but I mean, it's true in every game that I get the matchups where I want the matchups.
Yeah.
So if he brings Dante in somewhere that I don't really want him to be, he'll wreck some stuff before I can plug that gap.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure that some of the things like Dante drop where I need them to drop. I need to make sure I take out that Medic Youth with the Northessium, who heals his models and brings them back.
Units back all over
The Sanguinary Priest.
But I should have my Vindica, so I'll pop that little bitch early on. Although he may also bring a Vindica, which would be upsetting. Although the characters are a big bonus to my army, but it's not an army built around characters.
No.
So if I lose, I probably won't use Trajan. So I'll only have a couple of cheap heroes. So if he takes 100 odd point, played champion, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And if he does have the Vindica, then I'd rather he goes first. So then I have to accept his Vindica's going to come out and pop something of mine. But then on my turn, my Vindica can come out and kill his Vindica.
Yeah.
And then I rule the board.
Yeah.
And if not, then my plan will be for my Praetors to fly and take out the Vindica as soon as he appears, as soon as I can. And then get on with my life. If I go first, I don't know if I'll bring my Vindica out until he's brought his out.
No, well, you can't bring the Vindica out till round 2 anyway, can you? But
end of your movement, it's not a reinforcement. He's already on the board. Bring him out at the end of any of your movement phases. It's not like deep striking or anything.
no, but it's still limited to from turn 2.
You sure?
Yeah.
Where does it say that?
In the match playbook.
Which one? Enactment.
Enactment and Nephilim. Any of them. If you're doing match play, you can't bring anything in from any sort of reinforcements, deep strikes, whatever it is.
What about
until turn 2.
Gene-Stealer Corps?
So
Because if there's exceptions, then there's exceptions.
yeah, they've specifically got an exception because their special paid upgrade is that they treat the battle round as being 1 higher when they come in. So they essentially count as coming on turn 2, even though it's turn 1. So that's how their wording is designed to get around the normal rules. And things like drop pods and stuff specifically say.
Yeah, I know
Can be done.
I didn't know that. I thought the Vindica, because law-wise, the Vindica is already on the battlefield. It's not like they're teleporting in or something. They're just revealing themselves. And it says at the end of any of your movement phases. So that surprises me.
Yeah, that's like the standard wording for most of the...
I should fucking word it like that, shouldn't
No,
they?
it's because
Say
like
at the
if
end of
you...
any of your movement phases other than the first. It's not that difficult.
Because
to put on.
strictly speaking, if you're playing narrative play, that thing doesn't apply, so you can deep strike turn 1.
Should write the rules as though it's for match play, because that's what the majority of people play.
And even if you're doing narrative play, you still kind of want it to be fair and balanced, don't you?
I would.
Yeah,
but,
like if you're doing a crusade game, you want it to be a balanced.
Yeah.
unless you're specifically doing a scenario where it's weighted against one player.
Do you remember when Age of Sigmar first came out and there were no points for any of the models? It was like, just use what you've got. What the fuck are you talking about? It all balances out. In what world? Could I use like a 4,000 point army against your 100 point unit of men, but it balances out? You absolute fucking creeps. Mind boggles. So yeah, I'm not that worried about Blood Angels. So
Yeah.
if I lose against the Blood Angels, I should be very upset with myself. Hopefully next time I'll be hearing about my glorious victory.
I'm sure we will.
Now, with other things you've been up to, you've got this peculiar device on your painting desk. What
brush
the
rinser.
chuff is that?
Yeah. It's,
I mean, yeah, let's have a look at it. Waggle it over.
Oh.
I'm sure that sound will come up nice on
I'm sure it will. Just.
I really needed to look at the box.
Oh, sorry. Oh, there you go.
So it's like a bottle that a guinea pig could drink out of.
Yeah.
That goes into a box.
Yep.
And you put your brush into the box of water.
And you rinse your brush, and then you press the little button, and that manky water goes away, and then some nice fresh water comes in for you to clean your beautiful brush.
How much was this thing?
Yeah, I can't remember.
That means a lot. And
I think it might have been like 15, 20 quid.
I want to take the piss, but it's actually not a bad idea. So the big tank on top's clean water.
Yeah.
And then the box at the bottom collects the dirty water.
Yeah.
So you get your brush in the little crevice, hit the button, shuffs it with clean water like a little Japanese toilet spritz in your arse, and then the dirty water goes underneath.
Especially when I brought like nice, expensive brushes. You want it.
Spritz powerful or?
No, so it's not really much
It's
of
like
a
a
spritz.
pool-
It like
it's
fills,
like a little pool of
it
water.
fills up
Feels
a little,
like a little pond.
Yeah, which you
Waggle
wash
it around in.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you hit that green button to drain it.
Yes.
This is the brush rinser from Green Stuff World.
Yeah.
I think that's decent. If you like painting, that's not a bad idea. Also, secondary benefit, you're not going to mix it up with your water mug with your tea mug and drink paint water, because if anyone who's done that before, very unpleasant. Especially if you like to drink in big manly gulps.
Yeah, you get like
me.
most of the way down before you realise, don't you? Like, this doesn't taste right.
Yeah, I bang it back and then I'm like, never mind, best chase this with some paraffin. You're not going to make the mistake with that, and it's quite ergonomic. Not too big, fit on your painting area pretty easily.
Your painting area is getting more and more gadgets on it. You are getting quite into it.
Yeah.
It just feels like you just want to be surrounded by different equipment to do everything.
Yeah. I like my gadgets.
Looks like you've got everything you need to do a Gravelord's army for an AOS campaign that currently is just me and Johnny in.
Well, it's got everything but
the
Grave Lords.
Classic.
Yeah. I'll get them.
When?
I don't know. Next trip out.
So you have decided. That's it.
I mean, unless I change my
convinced
mind like solidly before then.
Solid.
So Grave Lords, just refresh me. They are the
Vamps.
They're the ones who can have
Skellies.
cavalry as troops.
Yeah.
Is that how you're going to build it?
Maybe.
No, because he's shit at the game, so he'll get something wank, won't he?
There's so too many different builds, to be honest. That's another thing. I need to decide like which way I'm going to lean into them. Doing the Blood Knight heavy army is definitely tempting though, because I think it'll look beautiful on the tabletop.
That's fair.
So yeah, we'll see. I need to do a bit more thinking and.
You need to do a
looking
bit
through
more
the book.
gluing and a bit more getting ready. I wanted to start an Age of Sigmar campaign, and the response has chilled me to my core.
Yeah, surprisingly underwhelming. I thought more people would be up for it.
Very underwhelming. I mean, just the chat in general is underwhelming. Just no one replies, do they, Johnny?
I thought it was a given that I wanted to. Yeah.
Nothing's given. Are you coming to Warhammer World?
I'll have to check the diary again.
I don't know if anyone's said yes at the minute, other than me. I don't think you've said yes.
Not in the chat.
Currently, it's me going to Warhammer World to play on 4 tables.
Sure, I'll have a good
Might
time.
be the only way I can get a challenging game. Ayo! I could give your Eldar a run out.
Yeah.
Group chats. I'd need a better group.
Wow.
Wow yourself. Wow yourself. Don't take long to reply, does it? Don't take long to reply. Let's move on. Things are getting chilly in here. What's been going on in G-Dubs?
We'll start with you first.
Right, and so talking about Kill Team, looks like they've released the Kill Team annual for 2022. So that's collecting together all the things from White Dwarf.
Oh yeah, because they've had quite a few
updates and changes and stuff. So I'm guessing this will add balance to the game. It looks like it's
It needs to. The game's very unbalanced.
bringing some of the old factions into line.
Yeah, because kind of quite a few of the White Dwarf updates have been along those same sorts of lines as like the ones that they brought out in the boxes, like in how kill teams are formulated, rather than the weird bullshit that's in the old compendium, where 2 custodies are apparently the same.
I know, same points as a
as
few
2
fire
Space Marines.
warriors,
Yeah,
and you just run through them. So this has addressed that.
well, to some extent.
To some extent, yeah. It's essentially like the data slate, I'm guessing, in how it works.
Does it say, so is it just kind of compiling together all the White Dwarf stuff, or is it updated everything else as well? I can't remember if it said. Or is it basically just the old compendium plus?
I think it's the old
one plus.
Yeah.
Oh, so not entirely fix the balance issues then.
So yeah, 2 factions from the Kill Team, the Elucidian Starstriders and Gelpox Infected, receiving full up-to-date rules.
What are they? Are
So-
they both Tyranids?
No,
The
God.
Starstriders are like a rogue trader unit, aren't they?
Yeah, they're from a box in the first edition of Kill Team.
Yeah, the name rings a bell.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of rogue traders, and then some of the crew that got corrupted by Nurgle. So like the Starstriders are the rogue traders, and the Galapox are the corrupted
infected.
crew.
Oh,
corrupted ones.
okay. So not what I thought. I thought they were both some flavour of Nid.
No.
And then I think it looks like they're both getting released as standalone boxes as well.
Yeah.
And same with the Kill Teams from the Morok box. So the Phobos Strike Team and the Blooded for standalone release as well.
Yeah, that box made me laugh a little bit.
Why?
Because it's like it's a Kill Team of Space Marines, isn't it? And
Stealthy
it's like what?
Space Marines.
Like 8 stealthy Space Marines in the Kill Team, and then like 12 Chaos Cultists or something. Like it doesn't.
Balance.
Maybe the Chaos Cultist rules are well hard, but like
They are
lore
not.
wise, it does not seem balanced.
The whole idea of stealthy Marines makes me piss.
Yeah.
That's what the Raven Guard are, is it? The Raven Guard.
I just don't think it's what Space Marines are meant to
No,
be.
shock and awe.
And they can do so many things that I don't really think they need stealth as well.
It's kind of why they used to have scouts, isn't it? They were the like stealth scouting.
Yeah.
Reconnaissance aspect.
But even then, there were still initiates to the Astartes, so they weren't like human size, were they?
And they weren't in the whole like full power armor, were they?
No.
It's like sort of like half plate style.
So still, they weren't this. They might have been scouts, but they weren't there to hide from the enemy. And
It's not like they were like sneaking their way into
No.
heavily populated buildings
No.
to knife somebody in the back. It
No.
was more like reconnaissance and
Scouting.
yeah. And it says that the annuals bring back 4 teams from the White Dwarf, so the Hunter Clade, the Warp Coven, Wormblade, and the Void Dancers.
okay. So Tau, that's Tau Harlequins, Thousand Suns, and Gene Stealer Corps, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
No, it's the the Hunter Clade is the Mechanicus.
Oh,
Because I mean the Tau one came out not all that long ago.
oh yeah, of course it did. Yeah.
So yeah, you got Skitari, Thousand Suns, Gene Stealers, and the Harlequins.
Yeah.
So all in one book. Maybe it'll bring a bit of balance to the game.
Yeah,
We'll have to give it another try then. Just gave it a whirl, but the rules for gameplay was good. Just the force selection was cripplingly uneven.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah. Also, there's the. I think we've talked about it before, haven't we? The
Crew box.
the Crew box, the Gallodark, the Space Hawk. Yeah. That's the thing that I'm quite excited about. That
I didn't think you cared about 40k anymore. I thought you were balls deep in Sigmar.
I've still got my Tower Army and stuff. So like having that set of crew, because like the box of crew that you get normally standalone for 40k is the like same looking models and stuff. And I think that's something that the kill teams do really well. They bring some classic models and have a different look to them. So having these different looking crew just interspersed in the army, because you can use them in 40k and in kill team, just having that, it just adds a bit of flair. So having some different looking crew, and I mean, if getting into like having a go at kill team, that's probably something I've got the Pathfinder team,
Yes.
so having the crew team as well would be, if I wanted to give it a go, that's the 2 lines I could go down. And they'll both have different playstyles. But the crew adds, they've got some interesting looking new models. Like one of them's got a bird.
Yeah.
There's like a pet.
Sounds like Lenny from Mice and Men. Hey George, got a rabbit.
It's got a pet bird that can spot out enemies and help with you finding them, or probably aid with your ballistic skills and stuff. One of them's got a heavy weapon.
So one of them got a bow.
Yes.
I dream that. Yeah.
One of them has got a bow. It's kind of a bow. It's a bow gun. Gun with a bow on it.
Like a Chewbacca bowcaster.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or like a Turok tech bow.
Yeah. Oh, Turok.
Oh, shit, what a game.
Yes. So yeah, they look cool. Some got like cybernetic arms as well, which makes the models look a bit different. So it's just. And then there's the other side of it as well, which like the more I've looked at them, the more I've quite liked them. The Imperial Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've just released an article on the Imperial Navy today or yesterday, haven't they?
I don't think I spotted that one.
Yeah, just you don't live it like I do you? You don't live it like I do. Who are the Imperial Navy?
Oh no, I did see that one.
Yeah, sure you did.
I'm not sure I read it, but I saw it. Yeah. And obviously they're kind of showing what the full box is.
Yes.
Got in there, and the stuff to get in for like scenery for setting up.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
cool, isn't it?
It's a fair bit of terrain in there, isn't they? And again, like I said before, it's setting up essentially what could be a campaign. As exploring more of this Space Hawk.
Yeah.
There's going to be modular scenery pieces that you can use together, and it could down the line let you have a fair bit of like flexibility if you're playing games of Kill Team to set them in a Space Hawk.
Yeah.
Cool. Good stuff. What else has been going on, Dan?
Well, I'm really looking forwards a little bit rather than looking backwards, because next week from when we're recording now is the Nova Open in America. And Games Workshop claims that they're going to have big releases, and our Games Workshop always claims they're going to have big releases, and often the releases are not big. And then sometimes when the big releases do come, people are not happy because it's like a new edition of the game. People are like, you've only just brought out the latest edition. So I'm kind of looking forward to that and kind of wondering to myself what the big reveal could be.
Yeah.
What's likely to be revealed, or what I want to be revealed. So, why are you smiling?
I think what you want to be revealed is going to be Battlefleet Gothic.
What?
Or Old Hammer.
Yeah.
Like a release date for Old Hammer.
That would be
huge.
A big reveal.
Yeah.
They've gone very quiet on Warhammer Fantasy or Old Hammer.
Very quiet.
For the last months and months and months, which has me a little concerned that they're just binned the whole project off. I'm hoping if they don't say anything about it, everyone will forget. Because you know what GW are like, they don't want to ever accurately and factually communicate with their customer base. Not when hearsay and rumour would suffice. So I would love it to be Warhammer Fantasy, and if after all this time quiet they just dropped that,
Yeah.
I would be flabbergasted, mouth wide open, surprised. I think it's more. I don't think either of them are likely. I think it's more likely to be Battlefleet Gothic than Warhammer Fantasy. At this stage, Battlefleet Gothic could be sick, and they're talking about Imperial Navy. I mean, we do know from the many articles on Warhammer Community about squats, and I think they said on the last one there's going to be more squat news at Nova Open.
Yeah.
If that's the big reveal, I'm going to be fucked up.
It's not really much
Because
of a
they've
reveal.
revealed nearly everything
It's like-
for other leagues of Votan.
Yeah.
The only thing they'll be revealing is the release
Codex,
date.
yeah.
I think the 40k one is going to be like the rest of the squat range.
So fuck me
And
right
I
off.
think
That's not a big reveal
yeah.
because we know they're coming. And World Eaters.
Yeah, possibly. And the Age of Sigmar one, I think, will just be some of the updated Slaves to Darkness models.
It's going to be so lame.
I mean, hopefully, some more exciting stuff. But yeah, that's
Every
what
time I
suspect.
get my hopes up that it's going to be something exciting, and it very seldom is. Yeah, the 40k one, if that's just Leagues of Votan, then they should be done by the Advertising Standards Agency, because that's not a big reveal. They've been rollicking on about the Leagues of Votan for literal months. We know they're coming.
It's either that or how long's Nephilim been out now? Because I know they said they were going to do a new match playbook every 6 months. I don't know if that's due.
No,
for a
it
new
can't be,
one.
because Nephilim only just came out before we started our campaign,
Of course it
which
did.
was only like 8-9 weeks ago since we started the campaign.
Of course it was. So we know it's not that at least.
Yeah, we know it's not a new book. I don't think it's likely to be 10th edition.
No.
Some people have said Imperial Guard, but I don't think it'll be Imperial Guard. 2, I don't know if Imperial Guard need a new book at the minute in 40k.
With all the...
I mean, it's not really a big release. It could be for 40k.
No.
Leagues of Votan or World Eaters or World Eaters seem most likely, but none of those would be big reveals. Age of Sigmar isn't really due for another new rules, not that...
No.
One could argue systems are never due for new rules, so I don't think it's going to be 4th edition Age of Sigmar. No. They've spoken about a load of Lord of the Rings stuff and no one really gave a shit, so I doubt it's going to be Lord of the Rings, although there'll probably be something in there for them. It would be sick if there was a new army in Age of Sigmar. That would be a big reveal. A revisit of a game like Battlefleet Gothic would be a big reveal. Malarion or someone like that for Age of Sigmar would be a big reveal.
Yeah.
But I don't think there are going to be any big, in air quotes, reveals. I think it'll be info on Leagues of Votan, which will fuck me off, but hey-ho, spaghetti-o. Age of Sigmar, I would be happy if it was more information on Cities of Sigmar.
That's what I was thinking.
I doubt it, because we know Slaves to Darkness are having another re-release this year, and Lumineth are probably going to have another one because they're pulling that Cinchian box.
Yeah, and also, just remember, they did say when they did the roadmap that in the same quarter as what's probably going to be Lumineth and Chaos, they were doing 2 Destruction books. So the preview might just be, hey, look, we're doing Goblins and Ogres or something.
Could there be a new Destruction army?
They could, but they've not.
What contending forces would there be for Destruction?
I think the only Destruction forces who've had a new book so far have been the Orcs. So they've got Gits, Ogres, and Gargants left to update.
What if they separated Chaos Dwarfs from Chaos though and had them as Leagues of Hashut? They could ostensibly be Destruction.
I mean, that would be fantastic.
That would be incredible. And I hope that you go this weekend and buy all the Gravelord stuff.
No,
and then they say that Leagues of Hashut are coming. You will poo yourself.
No, I'm not, specifically because you floated that earlier. I guess we'll see next week, won't we, what the big
maybe we'll do a little recording of our reactions to the Nova Open as like a little bonus episode, because that might not take very long.
No.
So yeah, I'm been looking forwards. My hopes are high, as always. I will likely be let down, as nearly always.
Oh.
And then I'll go back into my little cave of hatred.
Cave of hatred. Wow.
What about you? What have you been looking at?
Well, going on order this weekend. I think it's going on order this weekend. Chaos Demons. They've been chucking out a lot of previews for the new Chaos Demon rules. And I mean, this kind of happens every time there's a new codex, doesn't it? They kind of preview rules and look at me and think they are insane. And everyone's like, oh, there's so much power creep. And sometimes it's not true. You know, sometimes they bring out books like Grey Knights, Thousand Suns, both flavors of Knights. They've been like good, but not dominating. And then you've had things like Tau, the Harlequins as part of the Eldar and Nids, who, when they've released, have absolutely dominated the meta. But I mean, so it could go either way. But so far, Demons look spicy.
OP.
So spicy. There's been so much previews for them. I mean, the big thing, first of all, is the way that demon saves work. So they get 2 armor save values, 1 for close combat and 1 for shooting, which can't be modified, plus or bad in any way.
By anything at all.
By anything. So essentially ignore AP. But also don't count as invulnerable saves, so you can't turn them off.
So in essence, they have feel no pain. Everything in the army has feel no pain.
But kind of better than feel no pain, because you take feel no pains against the damage characteristic, don't you? You'll take this before the damage is allocated. So it's like a feel no pain plus.
Jesus.
In a way.
That'd be...
Which would be fine if the saves were shit.
But they're not too bad, are they?
They're pretty good. Pretty much everything's got at least a 5 up in combat. And everything seems to at least have a 4 up against shooting.
That is upsetting.
And a 4 up unmodifiable save against shootings.
Balls.
What were you saying about Tau being overpowered?
Yeah, good luck with your railguns.
Yeah, thanks.
Just go for a fire warrior build.
Just, yeah.
Poor volume.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that.
But yeah, leave your hammerheads at home.
Yeah. It looks like the kind of super army thing is going to be warp storm abilities. So essentially, you're going to roll 8 dice for every 4 plus. You're going to get a point, and then you can spend those on a series of buffs for your army. So, like, for example, someone wants support, you can like spend so many of your points to give +1 attack to all your core units, to give all your Slanesh units fight first. Things like that. And then they've done little previews for each of the gods as well. So some of the kind of things that they brought out for Khornes. A lot of the Khorne unit, pretty much everything's had a bit of a glow up. Bloodletters are now rocking around with an extra point of strength for toughness, an extra point of attack, 5 up save against close combat, 4 up save against shooting. Which makes them pretty tough to shift now. The Hands of Khorne, like same extra strength, extra toughness, extra attack, they can move like 10 or 12 inches now, doing extra damage on the charge. They've upgraded Skull Taker, so he's basically a character killing beast now, and every time he gets a character killed, his aura power increases. And one of the strats that they've previewed for Khornes is essentially, if you're not in engagement range, you get a 6-inch move. So that's
on top
spicy.
of your normal move.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
It's like a free advance, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Maximise that advance.
So pretty spicy for Khorne. Nurgle. Plague Bearers have got a serious glow up, so they're now toughness 5, 2 wounds, 2 attacks. And again, 5 up close combat save, 4 up shooting phase.
Plague Bearers, they're the ones that come in the big mobs.
Yeah.
As well. So, like, essentially, they are doubling. Say you've got your big mob, they are doubling in size with the extra wounds.
And like toughness 5 is
that's
kind of one of those breaking points as well, because a lot of your small arms weapons,
like 3 or 4.
Yeah. So putting them up to toughness 5 means you need semi-serious firepower to take them out, especially being at 2 wounds now as well. They can use the scenery pieces that they brought out for Nurgle and Age of Sigmar.
Oh, the trees.
Normals. Yeah. You can now use them for the 40k ones. which kind of do like a -1 to shooting aura, and you can bring back some plague bearers each turn. Not too bad. The extra spicy thing for Nurgle, which I know we've talked about, the Beasts of Nurgle.
Straight up bullshit.
Man, like strength 6, toughness 6, 7 wounds, 6 attacks, 5 up save in combat. Again, 4 up unmodifiable save against shooting. It explodes if you kill it, and at the end of every phase, if it's not been destroyed, it regens all of its wounds. Like,
That's
that
horrendous.
is so mad, man. Like,
Beware, people are going to run out and buy Beasts of Nurgle, though. I think that's going to get nerfed.
That's going to get nerfed, yeah.
It's surely.
The only way it could get worse if, well, I guess it, no.
It's not
like it has armour, so you can't even give it armour of contempt.
So all you got to do is go sit them on objectives and then try and distract your enemy by running everything else.
You don't even need to put them in like units of more than one.
No.
Because you can have them in units, can't you?
Currently,
yeah,
you can, yeah.
So it's not even worth putting them into.
It might be just so you can have so many of them on.
Well, yeah.
Like, good luck destroying the unit. So yeah, Nurgle's looking pretty spicy for the demons. Tzeentchers, horrors have a awful 6 up save against combat, but their shooting save is 3+. Unmodifiable 3+ save.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
And they can still do their like splitting, so pinks become blues and stuff. But now they've said you don't need to save reinforcement points.
Okay, so
it's kind of how it worked before. You had like your horrors, but if you wanted to do the like split, so your pinks became blues, you had to have points worth set aside to do it. No, you don't. It's just going to be built in. So we'll see kind of how that reflects in how their points work. Flamers are
horrific.
Yeah. So their flamers are 12 inches, d6 plus 3 shots. Obviously auto hitting flamers. Strength of the user, so strength 4, -2, 1 damage. If you've got an exalted flamer nearby, it gives them +1 strength. So you're talking for each model d6 plus 3, strength 5 -2 flamer shots. Which is, and screamers, the only real standout thing about them, they're like the manta-ray type.
The
ones.
flying things.
Yeah, they can essentially, instead of advancing, do a redeploy each turn.
I mean, that in itself is that's powerful.
It is.
Especially for board control.
Yeah.
Don't leave any objective unmanned.
No, and because they'll just pop over and have it. And then lastly, Sinesh. Again, looking horrific. Demonettes at strength 4, 4 attacks each. Standard 5 up close combat save, 4 up save against shooting. 10-inch movement.
They are
10-inch movement.
Fast.
And the Seekers, so like the mounted Demonettes. Again, similar sort of profile. 16-inch movement.
You might as well just say they can go anywhere on board.
And the +1 charge bonus for Seekers. Like insane. And the last one they previewed was the Mask of Sinesh, like one of the heroes for Sinesh. Essentially, you pick an enemy unit, and then you can pick an effect. So you can have like +1 to hit for your Sinesh units, make that enemy unit -1 to hit, or make it -1 to wound. So, a lot going on for demons in this update. Like, I get demons needed a glow up, but
yeah, they did.
It seems like
it might have been an overcompensated.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see what happens. I think they're probably going to hit the top of the meta just because of their completely unmodifiable saves.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there'll be some filthy ways in the book to manipulate it.
How do you even...
If I didn't have demons, but I was looking at getting them, I would hold fire for a few months. And wait and see what happens once the nerf hammer hits them.
Because there will be a balanced data slate, and it will.
Yeah.
It will slap them.
I can't imagine that they're going to be able to keep on like they are.
Because, I mean, you've got unmodifiable saves. Plague bearers
they're not even bad saves.
No. Like, Plague bearers at toughness 5, 2 wounds. Horrors that can split and split again.
I mean, the flamers at Siege get that's...
It seems like every time there's a flame weapon in a codex,
it gets
the
upgraded.
Codex is got a better flamer. Like it's
power creep.
Yeah.
Power creep. That's my porn name. It's power creep.
I mean, we'll see. It might be that.
Hey, I'm a creeping on you.
Hey there, I'm a power creep.
I don't know. It might be it comes out and everything's very appropriately costed.
Sounded like Dracothian then, didn't I? Sounded like your impression of Dracothian.
Hey, bro.
Hey, Sigma.
I'm creeping on you.
I'm creeping powerfully. Let me breathe on you a little. Sorry, we've ruined your segment, haven't we?
No.
We've completely ruined your segment. I hope
It's,
you got everything poignant out.
No, I mean that's it. That's demons are spicy. That's the main.
Locally, no one in our campaign does them, so.
Yet.
Well, yeah, isn't.
But it's like this campaign's going on for another 16 weeks or something, 18 weeks. By then, the Nerf hammer will have likely come along and spaffed them down.
Yeah.
And even if it's not, they'll need the time to build them. And
Yeah.
in this group of people, that's not a rapid process. It wouldn't be for me unless they were already built and buyable.
Mm.
I need to like outsource it to somewhere.
Truth.
I wonder if... Do you think there's going to be any new... I don't know if there's been anything revealed, but like new model releases. I know they've released Angron.
He's going to be World Eaters.
They don't seem to be big on releasing new models,
Yeah,
do they?
no.
They're
But, like, with
spaffing
the-
all the new builds into the small games.
Yeah.
If there were new models, it had been previewed by now.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
So doesn't look.
Puts
like
it on into bleeding leagues of OTAN.
Yeah. Right. So
That's probably where all the Cities of Sigmar new models have gone as well.
Probably, yeah.
It's
So
like,
all
we
the
need
models have
to
gone
save
into
all these.
Pit of OTAN.
so I think that's everything news-wise.
Your screen.
So, Johnny, you're going to talk to us about Warhammer Plus.
Warhammer Plus, a year on. Just
Bum,
over a
bum,
year
bum,
now.
bum,
Yeah.
bum.
Um,
God, that's gone fast, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah. What do you
So
think?
I've been a subscriber from the start.
Yeah.
Have you got your model?
I have got
Which
my
one did you
model.
get?
The Vindica.
Yeah.
Do
Same
you get the new Chaos model if you're there for the second year? Or is it only for new people?
No. So if you like continue with your subscription, you'll get it like at the start of your subscription. I think they said, didn't they?
Oh, is it at the start now? Yeah.
And if you subscribe, then you'll still get it just later on.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's what they've said.
I think, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about that first, the models.
Mm.
So last year it was, you either had the Vindica Assassin for 40k
Yes.
or the Auric Warboss.
Yep.
For Age of Sigmar. I went with Vindica. I just like the model more.
Yeah, I did the same.
I just like the look of it, and I think the Orcs were... I think they'd probably done that just because the Orcs had not long been released, if I remember
Yeah,
rightly.
because
Yeah.
not long refreshed Age of Sigmar and Orcs were a big part of that.
So yeah, the ones this time, like you say, are both Chaos. Like what looks like a Chaos Terminator, isn't it, from some of the old art?
Yeah.
For 40k. And then... What's the other one called? It's like Sorcerer,
Can't
isn't it?
remember his
Chaos
name, but
Sorcerer.
yeah, it's a Chaos Sorcerer with,
With 3 familiars. 3 or 4 familiars. I'm not sure which one to get.
Yeah.
If I'm like, I'm not really that keen on either of them.
Get one and sell it on eBay.
Could do.
In which case, get the 40k one.
Yeah.
Small by play 40k.
It's probably the smart shout. I mean, I've no intention of doing a Chaos Army. I don't like the look of either model. This is if I continue my subscription. Because what I've found with it is there's not been that much content on there.
Mm-hmm.
The Hammer and Bolter animations have sort of come in a wave. They've started releasing them again. They had a bit of a break.
Yeah.
Nah, I wasn't overly keen on them. There was a couple of standout ones.
They're a bit hit and miss, aren't they?
Yeah.
Some of them are all right. Some of them are really good.
Are these small self-contained stories, or
They are, yeah.
Yeah, just like one-off episodes.
and how long are these episodes?
That's, what were they, 20 minutes each?
Yeah.
Between
Okay.
15 20 minutes. Like my favourite, there's one that's about a Mechanicum
Like a
Castle on robot.
Castle on robot, yeah.
I really like that one.
That one was good.
That's probably my favourite out of all of them, but the rest were just, I just didn't enjoy them. It's the sort of thing that a lot of animators would just pop that on YouTube for free. And it's like, it's not really something you'd typically pay for if it was on YouTube. There's also been the Interrogator series, which is another animation. Each episode, again, 15-20 minutes. That's been all right. Bit of an unhived story sort of thing, following a Inquisitor, well, not Inquisitor, but an interrogator guy who was in an Inquisitor warband. Again, it's a bit dull.
It is, yeah. It's very like film noir. Like
yes,
very
it's all
old,
black and
like
white.
50s
It's all,
style private eye.
a lot of like narration
thing
over the
into
top
it,
of it. Yeah. Some of the other animations, you've got Astartes on there, which was previously on YouTube. The guy got hired by Games Workshop to work for them, and I mean that's incredible. It's very good, but they've not added anything to it yet. There's
That's what I was going to say. Is it just what was on YouTube?
It's just what was on YouTube at the minute.
I think
What the fucking hell's he doing then?
It's
I don't know.
they did say there was going to be more of it.
Too, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, they say a lot of things.
but it's not been in year one. And I remember a while ago they said that they are going to ramp up the release schedule on Warhammer Plus of everything they're doing, but I've not really seen much of that.
I suppose there was a big break on animations
Yeah.
at the time, wasn't there? And then like they've done so Interrogator's been relatively consistent, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They did like the first 3 episodes, had a couple of weeks off, the next 3 episodes, a couple of weeks off.
And now they've started doing it.
A couple of Hammer and Bolters.
There's Lore Masters, which is it's interesting, but it's not something. It's stuff that you would be able to find on Warpedia.
Yeah.
Or the Lexicanum. There's nothing really special there. There's nothing really.
Is it at least presented in an interesting way, or is it just a geezer talking?
It's just a geezer talking.
Yeah.
No artwork with it or anything.
No new art. It's all artwork.
Yeah.
That's,
Is
like
the geezer
the odd, like-
charismatic with a sexy voice?
Define sex.
I
He's not like
you know
this.
what? I only watched one, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about the later ones.
Gone to be
I
that
watched
good then.
like a few, but it's like again, I'm not hooked. I've not gone out there and think, oh, I want to watch all of these. I've just watched the ones that were sort of relevant to the armies that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But again, it's not that gripping. The content, it's not overly great. Being a bit critical here, but the one thing that I have enjoyed on there is the battle reports.
Yeah.
So they've got battle reports for the mainline game. So they've got 40k ones, Age of Sigmar ones. There's
Couple of Horus Heresy.
ones, yeah. Kill Team ones.
Couple of
Warcry,
Necromunda ones.
couple
Yeah,
of
they've
Necromunda.
got
So they've covered most of the
games
games, and they've been interesting to watch because they've showcased quite a lot of the armies.
Yeah.
I think there's still a few armies that they haven't quite hit yet.
Yeah.
But it's been interesting to see how different armies work, and it's a good. I think if you were looking to get into the hobby as well for a beginner, it could be something to watch to get a feel for like what models you like. But again, this is sort of stuff that you could see on YouTube, on different channels and stuff for free. But the presentation's good, and because it's come from Games Workshop, they've obviously got the production value behind it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the production value on the battle reports is very good.
Yeah.
With all the kind of like
It props up with the
interface
rules
things
and
that
stuff,
have, like,
yeah.
propped up and stuff. That's all.
And
Very
it's
well
very
done.
it explains what's happening quite well.
Have you watched 40k in 40 minutes on YouTube?
I've not watched that
haven't.
one though.
I would be interested if you watch 40k in 40 minutes for you to then
See how it
compare and
compares.
contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't really see how theirs on YouTube could be any better than it is. So that'd be interesting. Exodite, any good?
Well, I was stoked for that, obviously, and I thought it was going to be sort of like something quite comprehensive. But again, it was 3 episodes.
3 episodes.
3 episodes,
about
again, 20 minutes
long,
each. So it's not even a lot of that 20 minutes is recap credits.
Ugh.
So not really much happened in it.
Well, I think that's a bit unfair. The first episode was very slow,
Yes,
and then the other 2 episodes were
well, quicker, but
quite a lot happened.
Yeah, but I wouldn't,
action wise.
yeah, I wouldn't say it was great.
I enjoyed Exile.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite good.
all 45 minutes of it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that, it should have been longer.
Yeah.
They could have made it a full series or a movie style if they
Yeah.
wanted to. But I thought the episodes of it were good.
Yeah, and definitely the
And the quality of
it was good, and the voice
very good.
acting as well was spot on with
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of one of the things that Hammer and Bolter it is very like anime style
Yeah,
voices. It's sometimes a bit overacted and some dodgy voices. But Exodite was very good. I
Yeah.
thought, like production quality.
the production quality was, yeah. I mean, it might have worked better for them if they had just held off on releasing them slowly and just done it as one big feature.
Yeah.
Because that's the sort of thing that Netflix does with its series. Sometimes it will release it all in one block. I mean, it does mean people get through it quite quick if you sit and binge it, but I don't know, there just doesn't seem to be enough content for it. And the other thing with it is obviously you get access to the
Shit app.
app, which up to now has still not seen anything.
You still can't build a tower army on
Yeah.
it all this time on.
Yeah. I know obviously you have some problems with the app because it doesn't work for your army.
No.
I still do like the apps.
Yeah.
For reference more than anything. It might not be the best army building app, but if you can just like slap your units in a list, not even with the right necessary upgrades or whatever, but then when you're in a game, it's very
It's
easy
something to refer to.
It's
yeah.
very easy to flip between the data sheets and
Yeah.
find the rules that you need.
That's fair. I'd agree
So
with
I think it's a very good reference tool.
Yeah.
The apps.
But Battle
for the-
Scribe is as well. Battle Scribe is a good reference tool. It's free and you can accurately make armies on it.
I don't think Battle Scribe's tremendous as a reference tool. I don't think it's got a very... Because to kind of get all your rules, it's just like essentially one big document of...
Yeah, so you just
Tables,
scroll down
isn't
to the bit you need.
But I find the layout and the interface of the Warhammer apps for just switching between...
You can bring up the data sheet for the specific unit you want.
Yeah,
Is that
I just
what you
find,
mean?
and I find that because I know the data sheets from the codex, I find it a lot easier to just find the specific bit of information that I'm looking for because I know where it is because it's laid out like the data sheet's laid out.
But yeah, I might be a bit jaded with that because like, at the end of the day, like I'm paying for this.
I think it's absolutely intolerable that the company that makes the thing and is charging you for it has an inferior version of someone else who is releasing it for free.
Yeah.
The interface may be better, but the fact that you can't build armies with it is outrageous.
I mean, it's unfair to say you can't build armies. It works for...
Can you build all of the Games Workshop armies with it?
We
All the 40k
know
ones?
you can't build a town army. It
Then you
doesn't work
can't
for that
build
one.
the armies with it.
But it's not like it's completely unusable. It's just not usable for town.
Well, I've not tried all the other armies, but the fact it's not usable for one of their armies is, I think, is outrageous. And I don't just throw that word around lightly.
Yeah,
It's
it's definitely frustrating.
They make the army, and they are selling you an app. But in terms of you can make armies, any of the armies on Battle Scribe for free, and they get the information after Games Workshop does. The fact that now we're months on and the Tau still hasn't been fixed since when? January? And we're near the end of August, I think it's very poor. I do like the interface of it, but not sorting even just that out. And I mean, there might be other things wrong that I don't know. Not sorting that out in 8 months when you're charging people is poor, I think. You've got volunteers doing a better job than paid people.
Yeah.
Do you feel that GW missold a bit at the beginning of Warhammer Plus and made it seem like there was going to be more content released than has been released?
I did feel that there was going to be more stuff on there.
I mean, I've not got it, but I thought I got the impression there was going to be more original content than there's been. by original content, I mean like stories, not the Lorehammer and the painting, and the battle reports, which have been quite plentiful.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean the painting videos are good as well. They've been regular, and
the painting and the battle
painting-
reports and the other stuff have been quite regular. It's just the animations. that have been a
it's
bit
the
stop-start.
animation side of it.
I certainly thought there was going to be a lot more of that
Yeah.
when they were first launching it.
Yeah, certainly. I agree.
I mean, it's still quite a good bargain because you get the Age of Sig. If you play both games, you get the Age of Sigmar app as well, so it's still quite a good bargain, even if the apps don't fully work, because you get both of them and the stuff.
And you do get access to a lot of the back catalogue of White Dwarfs and old
That's a good
Imperial
point. I
armour
forgot
and
about
stuff,
that.
which isn't something that I really use. But
I think
if
it
you
includes
used it.
a lot. It's just I thought there was going to be more produced content than there's been.
It's more of a there's a lot. Yeah, it's the archive bit, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff that's on there that's been previously released, but in terms of new stuff, and this is stuff that's being outsourced really from GW. It's going to animation studios and stuff.
no idea.
I mean, it's.
I don't
imagine-
know. I mean, they hired the guy who did the starties.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much they do in house and how much goes out. I have no idea.
I mean, if they hired him back at the day, even if they hired him day one that Warhammer Plus was launched, we're not seeing anything from him in a year now. You know what I mean?
I don't know if he's worked on any of the projects that have come out or not. It's obviously been nothing that's been like a starties, but I don't know if he's been working on other stuff or not. I can't say.
I think if I'd had the subscription, I would be disappointed by the lack of original content. Are you going to keep you're obviously going to keep your subscription for another year because money's no object. But for regular people, are you going to keep your subscription for another year?
I'm on the fence. I am on the fence about it at the minute.
Depends what you want to use it for, doesn't it?
Because I do.
If you're in it for animations purely, it's probably not worth it to you. But if you're gonna use like the whole range of stuff that's available to you, then it probably is.
The problem is though, other than the original videos, a lot of the other stuff you can get as good for free elsewhere. Like you can get not the Age of Sigmar app, you can get a 40k building app, you can get painting videos for free on YouTube that are very good. You can get battle reports for free on YouTube that are very good. The only real thing that they're giving you that you can't get elsewhere is the Age of Sigmar app and their original content, which there isn't much of.
Yeah, I guess even still though, a lot of those kind of ones that you can get for elsewhere, like with battle report ones and painting guides and stuff, there's still bits of it that are locked behind the paywall. Like if you want access to certain things, there's a lot of free stuff out there.
I don't know about painting ones because I've not looked at any of them, but 40k in 40 minutes is very, very good, and you watch the whole thing. There
are some YouTubers with painting videos that I do watch, and it's varied. I like the ones that are on Warhammer Plus. They've got a range from beginner to sort of more advanced techniques. Whereas like you look on YouTube, it tends to be straight into the advanced sort of stuff. So I think the stuff that they've got on there for like just basics is good.
They are. I think the painting videos on Warhammer Plus are very well done.
Yeah.
In how like showing you how to do the techniques and explaining it to you.
And they use a range of models as well. So it's like this is how you might do a Space Marines power armor, and then next thing they're doing, this is how to get the glow on a ethereal star sword.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So it's different sort of. It's not all catered towards one sort of type of miniature and stuff. So I mean, but again, you could probably find stuff like that on
yeah, I mean,
YouTube.
Duncan's still cracking out to free videos. I think the only thing that isn't replicated elsewhere is the original content, and that's the thing they're not releasing much of. And again, I've not seen a lot, but I would also posit a bit of a hot take that their battle reports are not being done by gamers, if you know what I mean. I mean, they're playing the game, but they're not. They're not balls deep in matched play gaming.
It's not like it's being done at like tournament level. but it's for like
Not nowhere near. I wouldn't say, would you? Not even. I'm not talking top tier tournament, but even like decent competitive. Not when you look at the army list selections and stuff. I get they have to show off the range, but they're not being done by people that are known for gaming.
No, but I guess I've not been watching it for that. I guess it depends what you.
I mean, that's an idea. That I'm all having what they do. That's fine, but I would also, if I were them, do battle reports for people who know what they're doing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like having the nice ones for people that are getting into the game and stuff and don't know is cool, but then also having a more advanced battle reports, I think that'd be really interesting. And that's not something you're really getting anywhere else, because all the other battle reports are like 40k and 40 minutes. They're not being done to be super competitive often. That I think that would be interesting if you had people who were skilled at gaming and list building doing it. I feel like we've upset you. You're like balls deep on Warhammer Plus.
No,
and we've been rocking it a bit, haven't we?
Like, it's not perfect by any means. There are, problems with some things, but no, I don't like to be too negative.
Since when? About Games Workshop, everything else in life.
On here, I don't want to bum anyone out.
I hope that they learn lessons from the first year. And then the second year is better. I would like to see more original content.
Yeah.
On there.
Yeah.
And I'd like for them to make their own apps work.
Yeah.
Even though they're probably being designed out of house, which I accept, someone somewhere's dropping the ball.
Yeah.
Someone somewhere's job to make sure those apps work.
Yeah. I guess that's probably one of the big problems, isn't it? The lack of communication from GW. We don't know.
And that's a problem on everything they ever do. It's
we don't
such
know
a
where
poor communication
we don't know
strategy.
where the issues are coming from, and like what, if anything, they're trying to do to resolve them.
I mean, they just always pretend that anything that's going wrong simply doesn't exist. They don't speak about it. They don't reply to any comments about it.
That's
like
the thing.
when Curse City came out, if they'd have just been honest with people,
Yeah.
it'd have saved a lot of the bad feeling that was generated towards them. Whatever the reason was for Curse City being a disaster, if they'd have just come out and said up front, I would have gone a long way.
Yeah, it definitely would.
Or they're like terrified of engaging with anything, anything that's going wrong. And with any business, things are going to go wrong.
Yeah,
that's not unique to GW. That happens with any business.
Yeah.
It's one of the things is with the 40k list builder and the tower issue, it's obviously there. They must know about it. Is anything going to be sort of done about it?
I mean, if they don't know about it by now, that's very poor. They don't know 8 months on. And if they do know and they've not done anything about it, like that's also very poor. There's no way they come out of that smelling nice.
If they're not going to do anything about it, then like, because it's primary army for a lot of people, and I like you. I like the format of it, and obviously you can link when you buy your codex. You can put your code in, and you can get everything you need on there, and that was one of the selling points of it as well. It's it is a bit disappointing that it's like not been fixed yet, and because I would like to use it. Like Battlescribe's good, but I would prefer to use the 40k app.
I was paying for the 40k app, but then I couldn't. And I even kept paying for it when I was running Tau, even though I couldn't use it for the one army I wanted to use it for. But then after 2 months and nothing had been fixed or mentioned, I was like, you're taking the piss. You're charging me for something. And like 2 days after release, Battlescribe had it and everything worked. And when things get updated and FAQ'd 2 days later, it's all good on Battlescribe.
Yeah.
I will trade a little bit of user friendliness for accuracy and full usability. So the jury's out on Warhammer Plus then. Bradders loves it to the end of the earth. I've come across quite negatively on it, and Johnny is sitting on the fence with splinters in his bum.
Yeah.
Marvellous. Make up your own mind. Right. That's it then.
Yep. On that note, take care.
Ta-ra.
Thanks for listening.